the link to it will be available on.
Oh, it's available now.
On our Facebook.
Oh,
It's
okay.
on our Facebook and on our website.
But hopefully you guys can come at the May 2nd, the co-op, to hold the police accountable. If
April.
people, yeah, it's gonna be April 2nd. So if people don't wanna come in person to share the testimony that happened in the last year,
There's gonna be a fly on the wall
You
to
know.
see what it's all about, and
Yeah.
then we'll follow up so that you can just experience what we've
Yeah.
been working on. Cause, I know the news doesn't tell it all. We look all crazy and stuff with the news on, and there's so much more behind it. But I think that you would really enjoy it. And again, I think your leadership and your support, as a community partner or whatever, is an asset to the community. A lot of things that we've learned basically in organizing, activism, advocacy, is that it's very easy to fall apart into different pieces and not be united. But the necessity of us being together is so strong that that's something that we have to fight against intentionally. Intentionally, you know, we have to say, I'm not going to leave my sister over here, or I'm not going to leave my brother over here, and we can, we can sit up there and have different opinions, but it's more necessary for us to be together.
That's
So
right.
let's keep that opinion down and get back to work, you know.
Yeah.
So leadership knows how to deal with that, you know, and that's why I said it's very important to have a community leadership group, because we're just random people that came together, you know, and so a structured organization is bringing themselves into it to make us stronger.
About a couple more minutes left, if anyone wants.
What can the community do to help support you?
Me. Help me tell everybody what to do now. We're going to shut something down here.
pass the hat. She doesn't want me to say, but sometimes, I mean, we did it one time only, sometimes we pass the hat because she's our full-time organizer, and she does this 24/7 every day. She goes to Salem, to lobby, she supports a lot, but, you know, she cannot get a job because she's full-time organizer for the group. But also she's blacklisted, nobody's gonna hire her.
Yes, I mean, at every
That's one way to support her, what's
Yeah,
one way
at
to
every
support her.
opportunity, when you're out there on the front line and you're saying things that make people uncomfortable and you're looking for accountability, you will be the bad guy. I have people that I'm the bad guy and they didn't even give me a valid reason as to why. So why don't you let Justin? They didn't know that I was president. You know, you don't like that girl, why not? And they're like, man, I don't know, she always talking about stuff. And I'm like, what kind of stuff? You know, what is it that bothers you? And sometimes they don't know, but it's scary to have somebody out there doing things that aren't the norm. And so the more people that are standing with you, the more faces that are recognizable, the easier that is, and the better it is for us all, because people have to take you seriously. Right now, we're not being told no. We won't be told no. If we have 100 people with us, or 1,000 people, or just 3 people, we're still going to get yes when we walk out, because we won't leave. We won't. It's like that Samuel L. Jackson song. But one of the things, like what Kimberly was asking earlier, we are going to start a 501c, 504c or whatever.
501c.
C4, C3, which one?
C4, so we can become a membership organization.
Great.
And then that way we can just go ahead and establish the symposiums. We're going to have a convention with the ACLU in August. We're going to be publishing all of the different things that we've been doing over the last year so that we can hand those assets back to our community so that they can have blueprints for different ways to basically promote activism. And also at the same time hold something that they made happen. Because I can't tell you all of the names of all of the different people that have basically given us the energy and inspiration to do what we're doing. But I want them to know that it's worth something, that we packaged it, and that we can deliver it to someone else for use. And so those things right there will give us an opportunity to say, hey, buy into this, become a member so that you can support this, because it is educational. Right now, Dartmouth is basically, they're doing a 10-week master's program at their university. I went to school that's doing it on Ferguson, and their focus is art and history. Our focus is economics, and poverty. And so we want to go ahead and just, in every opportunity, capture what we've been through and create an opportunity for people to learn from it. So that's enough of that.
I think Crystal, and then the final question will go to you.
Okay. So I finished a lot of my education in Missouri, and so it's really inspiring to meet you because firsthand I lived in Wyandotte County. I don't know if you're familiar with Wyandotte County at all, but I lived in in it at the time of when it had the highest homicide rate consecutively for 4 years. I went to West actually, which is one of the very, very, a lot of poverty there in that area. But I was curious as to know what kind of collaborations do you have in the technology community and also in the Hispanic Latino community. I was wondering if there's any particular individual companies or any organizations.
Well, I've always been down with Vox since 2013, I think, as far as supporting them. And then my friend Jules Garza, not only is she the head of the LGBT caucus, or either Carla Hansen might be now, but I'm a humanitarian. You know, being a women's rights activist as far as being a feminist and all that other stuff, we have relationships we probably can't even identify. But technology is something that we really do need support in because like websites and all that other stuff and keeping bugs off my computer. I don't know if that's the type of technology you're talking about, but that's what I need. I'm hoping that we can get some partnerships with companies like Intel because I know that they have organizations like Maya that's in there, but I'm looking for any partnerships that are coming from diverse communities that would like to empower the youth. Because at the end of the day, if we're focusing on root causes, there's a lot of work that there's not just one, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to finish what we're doing in our lifetime. But if our goal is to create a blueprint or a design on how to go ahead and start digging into these relationships and using legislative power along with the nonviolent direct action, then everybody has a seat at the table. So, if you know somebody, send them. But right now, we got like Veterans for Peace, Rising Tide. We have a lot of legal firms that we're working with, social justice activists, a whole lot.
There's also we also have the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the president, Gail Castillo. So I've known her for 35, 40 years. So. And we'll have a luncheon. At the end, we can talk about the lunch.
Hey, y'all, take a
Sorry.
For the sake of time, we reserve the
As
last
a
question.
support to her, and she's wrongly cited her, just saying that we don't need another movement. We need you to join the movement and make the numbers. Because power is in the numbers. And I think that sometimes we of color want that limelight because we want what that person, we think that person might have. So we don't need other movements. Am I correct? We don't need other movements. We need to join your movement. Don't shoot PDS.
Well, and my movement is a community action plan. It's a movement that community, like we met down the street at Dawson Park, and I would say the first time that we organized over there, we might have had maybe 130, maybe 200 people that showed up. And at first it was like, whoa, this is crazy. So the first meeting was just ridiculous. We talked, we grabbed the bullhorn and talked a whole lot of stuff. But by the second meeting, I think we might have had about 80 people. And we stood around in a big old circle and we shared ideas about what we thought we needed to do. And that's how this started. I just like how I think Maria had said, well, Chelsea just keeps staying. Well, I didn't want to leave. I was the note taker and the moderator. And I thought that the community was building the action, but when you come to organizing and logistics, I was helping to carry them through, and so I'm still here on the front line. But this is not my movement, this is our community movement, and that's why I call it a community action plan. So we all belong together, and that's when we say coalition of groups and organizations, we're saying come to the table and let us be adopted, because we're the community. Add something to the community's opportunity to have action, because that's what we don't have.
And I think, to me, just to end, to me, something that is very valuable is just the piece of direct action, the civil disobedience, you know, just to be in the front. And I think that's the beauty of Teresa that I love so much, is her beauty of being confrontational. And I understand there is a lot of people doing different pieces. Like some people like to have reading clubs, some people like to have, you know, like symposiums and all kind of stuff, and all that stuff is very important. But when it comes to police accountability and really preventing the police from killing our brothers, our sisters, a public Portland board to passing rules, which is laws, that will affect our children, that you won't be able to bring your children to your own neighborhood where you have your roots because you've been gentrified, like in the community where I live in Northeast Portland. So all these things, we need the direct action. We need people to be willing to put themselves in the front line, and I think that's one piece that other organizations are not getting it. There is a lot of Latino organizations, but they are not doing direct action. They are not willing to be, because a lot of the organizations are attached to the money. And when people are attached to the money and to the funding, then their type of organizing is very different. So I just want to say that.
So we definitely want to thank you. Just, we want to give you just an amazing round of applause. Being a community spokesperson, that champion, that forerunner, that confrontational, that person that the community can look to know that with integrity, you are fighting a good fight. And so we are so honored and privileged to be able to say that we're honoring you as our woman of history, but really the honor of ours that you would have the time to come by and share with us your passion for this movement and how we can become more engaged and concerned about the issues that are impacting all of our lives, because we are impacted by the lives of our community members. So again, thank you for being here.
I was gonna say, what would really help is if the Urban League got more blacks to participate in the marches and stuff.
I mean, they love it. I told the leader of the Democratic Party the other day that I'm gonna protest the protest. She said she wasn't supporting 15 now. And she said, do it, please, come on, then I can help you. And so she basically said, if you do that, then everybody will see why I have to support it and they'll support it. But if you don't do that, then you'll be waiting 2 years to get it. And so they thank us every time.
Thank you.
And we thank you.
And just before we adjourn, I just want to give like 2 minutes to like community like announcements, or if there's announcements anyone wants to make for the general community. I think we heard from you. We have your flyer, so thank you earlier. And then Dolly, you had a quick announcement.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a plug for health insurance. So I'm doing 4 different health insurance enrollment events over the next couple of weeks. I'll send a flyer to someone maybe that can be sent to the group. But it's through the Coalition of Community Health Clinics. The big event is going to be April 25th at St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church in North Portland. We're going to have private insurance agents there as well. And if people have questions about Medicare, like the whole gamut, you can come.
Coalition of Community Health Insurance.
Community health.
What, do you guys have a Facebook page? How can I find you
We
guys?
have a website, a Facebook
Oh my
page,
goodness.
pdsYP.org.
All right.
If you give me a first.
Oh, okay, cool. You got it? I'll get it.
If you give me your first. Any other announcements before we adjourn? Yes.
I was gonna say, one thing that could really help, Teresa, is getting more and more people of color in the marches and stuff. I'm hearing a lot of people saying, well, they're marching for blacks that were killed, but no one else, and there's no blacks in that.
Yeah, and that was going to be one of my questions, and that's a follow-up. There are people who, how do you engage the people who aren't courageous enough to stand in a protest, or who didn't have the background that you had with your family in Mississippi? I think there is a disconnect between people who, will show up like in a powerful way, like in New York and stop traffic, as opposed to those, just the different roles in the movement. I think there needs to be training around how people can get involved. But we can have a 2.0 conversation about that.
I was gonna tell you, we shut the police down so they don't bother us anymore. And I think that was the biggest barrier because of our history in this country and what happened during the protest. But you can ask the chief, he will not come anywhere near us when we're protesting.
But not everyone will show up with you to shut the police down. And so that's what I'm saying, to engage more people of color. I think that's a follow-up conversation, but great. Anyone else? Okay. Well, I do call this meeting adjourned. Yay, thank you.
The other page.
I had to reach out to whoever.